Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and if you've been around for a while, you know that the SIM swap is the scariest hack that you can possibly have in crypto. And I want you to hear about how this works.
In order to steal your crypto, you have to have crypto on, an online exchange, wallet, Coinbase, Bitfinex, these, plenty of them. And most people, if not all, even if you have cold storage, they need an on-ramp, off-ramp, so they've got these accounts, and they'll typically have something in them.
Now, pay attention to what he said. They need an on-ramp and off-ramp.
And so a
crypto on-ramp, off-ramp.
The SIM swappers going after crypto, they want to steal your mobile account away. They've now control your voice, your text, your data. And if you've been targeted, they may have done all the research on you of what wallets you use, what apps you use. And certainly there's a lot of people that post that kind of information about themselves on the internet, social media. And they're just going to go password reset. They're going to go, forgot my password. Even if they don't know what your top crypto apps are, but they know that you're into crypto, they'll just go through the top 20 exchanges and apps. And it's just simply forgot password. They're looking for a reaction. Now, if you have just SMS set up, then you're toast at that point. They'll just take control of it. They're going to reset your passwords. They're probably then going to go after your bank, your email, your iCloud, your cloud, all those things you don't want them to go after. And if you've got an authenticator app and they're professional enough, they get into your email. There have been a lot of cases where, because I talk to a lot of the victims that come into Afani, and so I'm sort of like the security nerd. I've been doing cybersecurity since around 2000, and so we want to hear about the different attacks. And so plenty of people are getting their authenticator apps reset as well, and it's just a matter of enough time. If you're sleeping, you're playing golf for 4 or 5 hours, you're on a flight to Tokyo. You given them enough time, and they can just dig. And now there's a lot of people. I'm starting to talk to a lot of victims who were lucky enough where everything was on cold storage, but they get hit elsewhere.
Okay, so this is the reason. This is one of the big reasons that I partnered with iTrustCapital and put a lot of my XRP in iTrustCapital. They're probably the only. They're not an exchange, but they're probably one of the only places where you can put your XRP in institutional grade custody that I'm aware of that has a closed loop system. That closed loop system allows you, in other words, they have an on-ramp for crypto and dollars. You can put both of those in your account, but the off-ramp is only into your bank account. So they've gotten rid, that's the core thing that all these hackers need. They need that crypto off-ramp to get your stuff out. And with iTrustCapital, they don't have the crypto off-ramp. And that's why it's a closed loop system. And that's why this helps me sleep just fine at night, because I don't have to worry about that. Even if they did do a SIM swap, they're not getting crypto out. It's huge. If you want to open an iTrustCapital account, you can go to iTrustCapital.com/XRP Army. You can have XRP in your IRA like I do, and that's institutional custody too, or your premium custody account. You can send your XRP right in there, and you can also use the promo code $100 funding bonus if you're a new account. What was that? I just heard something. I don't know if a bird flew into my window or what. Okay. Moving along. Market's kind of boring. Let's keep going. Look at this. Thank you, XRP Kuwait, critical XRP ledger infrastructure provider of senior Swift operator, for this reminder. Make sure you made the config changes to keep listening to XRPLF, published UNL, that says nodes now settings, continue retrieving XRPL Foundation's validator list. I like that. XRP Kuwait reminds me of replacing the petrodollar. for some reason. Look at this. This is that article I showed you in my last video. Swift is building a blockchain ledger with 30 plus banks. Vet says this is 4D chess, Trojan horse move aiming for the XRP ledger, anonymous. But Smoke came in and he says Swift isn't picking sides, it's connecting to all blockchains. He's got documentation here. Swift itself, as well as for a wallet infrastructure for various addresses according to the report, generating MTV files, integrating and enriching data, blockchain transactions. The experiments demonstrated that existing Swift infrastructure can provide a secure, scalable way for financial institutions to connect multiple types of blockchain. It's all going to be interoperable, folks. Here's Sal Gilberti. He was doing an update on his XRP ETF. This guy knows.
Sure. Well, like I said, we did have that experience with Bitcoin. We had filed for a Bitcoin ETF, and we are derivatives experts. And so we're in a bit of a waiting period right now for people waiting for the physical XRP, for funds that can hold the XRP tokens. And so there's this huge demand from the investing population to get price exposure to XRP. And given that we're derivatives people, we knew that XRP futures were announced by both Coinbase and the CME. They were going to come out, but a bunch of people filed at the same time. Everybody's waiting and watching, and so we said, well, how can we get ahead of this? You have to be first. And I'm a derivatives guy. It's what I've done my whole life. So we structured a derivatives swap that followed the price of XRP based upon because Europe has more lenient laws than we did on crypto listing. There was an XRP ETF in Switzerland, and so we structured a swap on that and listed it in our XRP, our leveraged double XRP. XXRP is the ticker. It's a great ticker on the New York Stock Exchange, and we stuck it in there. And so we were first to market, and that's what matters in ETFs. You have to be first to market. I don't know why. My oil and gas ETFs years ago, they were 2.5 years we had them out, and they beat all the other ETFs in their category. No one bought them. They only, everybody gets used to the name or the good ticker, and that's it, and you have it. So I knew we had to get out there. I knew we had the best ticker, double XRP, XXRP. So I said, we've got to be first, and we structured a swap and put it in there, and it just took off. And then when futures came, we instantly switched to futures. There's good deep liquidity in there, and so it just took off, and people still can't buy tokens on the stock exchange in an ETF. It still has not been permissioned. It will come. We're convinced it will come in the next couple of months, no doubt. But right now we have the trading product for people who want that aggressive price speculation, and the people really interested in buying the tokens. This fund allows them to get the double leverage, the 2x leverage, or as close to it as we can get. And so I think that's why it had such good demand. I do think, though, that when XRP tokens are approved for ownership inside of ETFs, I think those are going to be wildly popular.
I agree. I highly agree. I hear XRP everywhere I go, and I think being first to market is definitely going to make Tuprium is going to make it, I would say, a household brand because.
Yep. Okay, look at this. Keep it simple, fam. XRP. That's for Caroline fam at the CFTC. Proud to finish the greatest roadshow ever. Invest in America. And remember, XRP is the American coin. Look at this. Bitcoin is too slow. ETH gas fees are high. Solana network gets congested. And then he says, what's the solution? I answered it for him, XRP. James Rule points out Chris Giancarlo is going to be a panel moderator today, 1 to 5:03 p.m. SEC CFTC joint roundtable. Here it is. Then we've got this. I wanted to show you this. They told us that Bitcoin was going to replace gold, folks. I'm here to tell you. I'm going to tell you again. I've told you 1,000 times. With some of your digital assets, you need to, I can't tell you what to do because I'm not a financial advisor, but I can tell you when and if I finally sell some of my XRP, I will be buying paid for land and physical gold because those two things aren't going anywhere, folks. And those are the ultimate safe havens, in my opinion. This is Andy Scheckman from Miles Franklin. They're talking about gold and crypto.
We're having a conversation about U.S. treasuries and stablecoins and crypto, and yet somehow gold is working its way into this conversation as well. We have Tether, the world's largest issuer of stablecoin, USDT, appearing to plan a full-scale entry into the gold mining business. Tether, according to the Financial Times, looking to expand across the entire gold supply chain from mining and refining to trading and royalties. Tether just boosted its stake to nearly 38% in the gold royalty company, Elemental Altus, adding another $100 million there. They're using crypto profits to build gold exposure. And we had the CEO of Tether, Paolo Adroni, putting it this way. He said, well, Bitcoin is often called digital gold is like nature's Bitcoin to us. But very interestingly, he said again this week, he posted on X, and we have that post, Bitcoin, gold, and land are the hedge against incoming darker times.
Now look at that. That's the CEO of Tether saying that. They were never going to replace gold. They knew this, folks. Now he's investing in gold and gold miners. Okay? We called it a long time ago. Now listen to what Andy Scheckman says.
Isn't that what we've said since you got here? That I've felt for a long time to unite the two communities. Cryptocurrencies allows you, and it has, generational wealth accumulation, but put that in take the profits and put it into gold. You have a whole system this is all about a response to weakening dollar demand and the understanding of a weakening dollar. So whether it be central banks doing this, tying gold, or the redeemability like China and their digital yuan, or gold backing the unit settlement currency, or all of these countries with the ability to settle in gold, you continue to hear gold as the anchor to the system. And what is genius about the Genius Act is creating synthetic demand for something that is losing demand. It is diabolical, and it really, you talk about the word stable. Is it really stable when you're backing something stable with debt and a dollar that's depreciating? It's not really stable, but it still does the same thing. It continues to fund the government. And I think that's what this is, the realization that the dollar is weakening, the system is moving. Things don't always repeat, but they rhyme. And we're not going to see a redeemability in currency the way that we did prior to 33 when Roosevelt confiscated gold, where you could take a $20 gold coin and get a $20 gold certificate at the bank and vice versa, but they will use it to anchor the system, I believe, on a central bank level, where countries can take those currencies in transactions at that level and redeem it in gold. That holds their feet to the fire. And I also think it will be redeemable in treasuries, whether it be just in the United States. Maybe the SCO issues bonds, redeemable in gold. Bang, just like that, you got demand for it. Okay, I don't trust them, but hey, it's redeemable in gold, and it's held on Enbridge, and we can see it, and it's held in these multi-jurisdictional vaults, even one in Saudi Arabia. You know what? I'm in. So,
wonder how they might be able to tokenize all that gold. I've got some ideas. Okay, we're going to go into DAIXRP.com. Got more. That's the Patreon. If you'd rather join through YouTube, click join below any of these videos, or you can hit subscribe on X. You get the full video, the extra video, and no commercials. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Here we go.